Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Ever since the Season 2 update went out and we also saw an additional weapon tuning update, the SMG category in particular has been very competitive, arguably the most competitive it's been so far this year because the Fennec is no longer a clear top dog, if you will, but also other SMGs are starting to shine. And today, I wanted to take a look at the TTK of some of the top tier SMGs and really figure out, is there a true #1 best TTK SMG, or maybe are there a couple of standouts? So we are going to start here first on True Game Data today. As always, huge shout out to Tony. The man is the wizard of Warzone, as I like to call him, when it comes to the data that he provides. So we can obviously have these discussions, and it's just clear cut. It's super easy to interpret and understand. I love it. So huge shout out to the man, Tony. Check out his channel. Check out the site as well. So we got 5 SMGs here. We got the PDSW 528, aka the P90. We got the Voznev 9K, the Lockman Sub, aka the MP5. Had to have the Fennec on this list because that's obviously a huge talking point. And then I also got the Vel 46, aka the MP7. And when we go ahead and we scroll down to our TTK chart here, we of course are looking at 250 health behind the face cam there and combination shots for the most accurate TTK stats possible. And we get some very interesting information here. You can see that our red line is going to be our PDSW, the P90, orange is Voznev, blue is the MP5, green is the Fennec, yellow is the MP7. And you can see the Fennec now, because of the changes that they made, look at how slow its close range TTK is. It's the slowest through the first 8 meters, and that green line just keeps dropping off harshly all the way throughout. It is nowhere close to being as good as it was before the update. So Fennec is clearly out of the top tier meta conversation for the SMGs. But what replaces it? Well, the two most interesting lines to me are our red line with the P90 and then also the yellow line with the Vel 46. Personally, I thought the Voznev or orange line, which I mean, clearly through 10 meters, the Voznev is great. Honestly, all these SMGs are really, really good through 10 meters, but oftentimes you're going to find yourself in a fight with an SMG that's 20 meters, that's 30 meters. I don't think anything beyond like this 35 meter mark here is all that relevant, because past 35 meters, these subs, you're over 1,000 milliseconds, you're over a second long TTK. With most of these SMGs at that point, that's not a viable place to be fighting with these guns. That's where you're taking over to rifles, to snipers, to LMGs, so on and so forth. But in front of this, it's an interesting conversation. I mean, the PDSW, the P90 actually stands out the most to me because of its damage ranges. Now, obviously, over range up through that 35 meters, we're talking from 23 to 35 or so here. It is the P90 and it is the MP7. Those are the two clear choices. Our red and our yellow line prove that, right? But in the middle ground here, you'll notice the P90 consistently has a slightly better damage range outside of a few meters at a time, right? So through the first 14 meters, the PDW, the PDSW, P90, whatever you want to call it, it is the king for that initial first damage drop off. It's right there through the first 8 meters, but then everything else drops off. It's better. And then it drops off just like everything else does. It's not the best for a few meters, but then it takes over yet again, drops off, not the best for a few meters, takes over for a much larger damage range. We're talking 21 to 27 meters. It's only 6, but it's significant for SMGs. And oftentimes a lot of the ranges that you're going to find yourself in with these guns is this prime area right here. So it is actually a very clear standout to me between the P90 and the Vel. You can see the Vel is right there, actually has a slightly faster TTK through those first 10 meters. And then as it drops off, it's just constantly just behind the P90, obviously with the exception of 27 to about 35 meters there. So two SMGs that really a lot of players weren't paying much attention to are actually two of the top TTK options for this weapon category. Now, yes, the Fennec is all right, but it's not anything crazy. The Voznev is still a really good choice in my opinion, I would say. And the Lockman is also a great choice as well. Its close range TTK is phenomenal, and it's also super easy to use as well. So like, you can't go wrong with these. Let's also look at the table though here, because this gives us even more stats. And I'll zoom out a tad bit here, makes the numbers smaller, but we can see all the stats a little bit more clear. The ADS movement speed on the P90, one of the better ones. It's right there with the other ones. And you'll see as we get into the builds here in just a moment, we go so much on mobility that it really turns the P90 into arguably the fastest option here, which is going to be huge. ADS time is a bit slower, but we really work on that a ton with our build here. Bullet velocity is by far the best, so those 20 to 30 meter fights are going to feel the most consistent. Phenomenal fire rate, great default magazine size. You don't have to worry about adjusting anything there. Movement speed is right up there with the other ones. Reload time is right up there with the other ones. Sprint speed is the second fastest here, actually. Tac sprint speed right up there with the other ones. So there are really no cons to the P90 right now, and the Vel, of course, is right behind it as well. The Vel as well. rhymes. So as we get into the actual loadouts here, real quick, just a reminder, if you guys are new to the channel, every day I got you covered with all things going on in COD, news, updates, loadouts, tips, you name it, it's right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. And if you guys enjoy the video or if you find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. Would be seriously appreciated. Let's start first with the MP7. I think this is really the ultimate number 2 option for TTK. P90 is really that number 1. It really comes down to preference though. If you're gonna land more shots with the MP7, you think, versus the P90, this might be the better choice. But here, first up, we are going for the Soldier rear grip. This is for better ADS and sprint to fire, tuning to maximize that even more, so really enhancing the mobility there. More of the same with the RXT stock as well. Better sprint speed, better ADS speed. I tune for a little bit better stability just for some of that mid-range to keep it consistent. Also the better aim down sight speed. The 7mm laser gonna help out even more with the ADS and the sprint to fire, once more tuning to maximize that. I feel like 40 round is all right for the magazine. You could go up to 50 if you wanted to, and I just replaced that with the drop grip here. But with the drop grip, you are getting slightly better stability, and you can tune for some better mobility and get that as like an extra benefit, if you will. So better ADS and strafe speed there. And then lastly, just for pure consistency, I go for the Lockshot KT85. Helps the most with horizontal, so there will be like no left to right surprise bounce there, and a little bit with vertical. And I tune slightly for the faster ADS and a little bit better gun kick control. So again, for the mid-range, it'll be super easy to use. It's already a relatively easy gun to use, but this really helps out. Like, this setup is low recoil and great mobility, really just enhancing it and making it even better where it already thrives. And then for the P90 here, like I said, we are going all out speed. So this thing is going to be flying, and as we saw with those stats, it's going to be frying as well. First up, Q900 rear grip, better ADS and sprint to fire, yet again, once more tuning to maximize those. Behind the face cam here, I've got the TV Tacom comb, which is going to once again be for better ADS and sprint to fire, and we're going for the faster ADS and the faster strafe speed on these tunes here, just to once more make it even more fast and even more agile and aggressive. Personally, I don't like the iron sights. If you like them, you could absolutely go for a stock that's going to be even better for mobility. You could go for, an ammo upgrade, maybe like the overpressured if you wanted to. But with how I play it, man, the iron sights, not a fan. So I go for the Blue Dot, the Chrono Mini Pro, tuned for that furthest eye position and the faster ADS per usual there. Once more, 7mm laser. Again, tuning for that faster ADS and sprint to fire to maximize those stats even more. And I also go for the Lockshot KT85 here as well. Same reasons as over on the MP7. And you could tune either way. For the idle stability and ADS, for the stabilization, for the gun kick control, totally depends on how you want the gun to feel. This really is the only control based attachment here, so you want to have that stability and that consistency, but outside of that, it's all mobility. It's going to be flying, it's going to be frying. Really enjoying the P90 as of late, and one that I don't think a lot of players saw coming. This and the MP7, kind of surprise choices for 2 of the best SMGs in the game right now. But that being said, that is going to wrap things up for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video or if you found it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications so you can always guarantee you're up to date with everything going on in COD. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.